ऋतु कुमार फैशन डिज़ाइनर हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। ऋतु जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया इस टेलीथॉन के साथ जुड़ने के लिए, इस मुहिम के लिए। आपने अपना समय दिया है और आपको दर्शकों को बता दें कि ऋतु कुमार की एक क्विल्ट और कुशन्स हैं जो आप लोग ले सकते हैं और एक तरह से वो डोनेशन कंट्रीब्यूशन के तौर पे जाएगा इस टेलीथॉन में। ऋतु जी, not many people know that the textile trade is the second largest employer in India after agriculture. Millions of craftsmen in India are in deep distress at this time. Just must be unfolding in front of your eyes. What can you do to ensure that they are looked after?
Well, it is a very rare phenomena that you have brought this up, because very few people really are understanding the fact that it's the biggest employer after agriculture. Now, my area has really been the handicraft parts of it, the handlooms, the hand embroideries, etc. They don't constitute the full amount of the second largest employer, but the last estimate was we have about 16 million people employed just in hand textiles. It's actually the size of a small country. Now, when I started working with my karigars, they were always in a fairly beautiful setup in the village. The children there were working with their parents like a guild, and they would go to school but come back and put a few hours on the addas with the embroidery or with the weaving, and it was really not ghettoized the way the work has happened now. Now, most of these people are now back home, but unfortunately there is no work. Now, the lockdown has produced another set of circumstances where these people have no way of getting to any place which can provide them incomes. Their work in itself is so complex that it cannot bear any rents, it cannot bear the malls. It has to be, as I've spoken many times and also written about it, is that it has to be looked at as a startup, and the government or whoever it is should be able to invest in this sector. I'm sure it's going to be lucrative, but we have to take the middleman out. Otherwise, these children are going to end up as slave labor in wretched circumstances in the urban areas.
But actually, you're so right, and you know, I mean, we are seeing that textile sector is still so relevant globally, and that Bangladesh is doing so well, and we should, you know, are we getting left behind a little? But more than just the textile sector, what I wanted to ask you was that in all your artistic everybody knows what a wonderful designer you are, but you also have a heart, and that only comes from one factor, and that is many years living in Calcutta, right? And so this must affect your heart, your Calcutta heart, terribly, seeing the children of your workers in such a bad state.
Well, you know, I have to bring this up because I think very many people don't realize it. We are the only country where we have handicrafts left. All the other countries in the world follow a handwriting which comes from the ramps in Europe, and they follow that. If yellow is the color, they all wear yellow. If the green is so on, so forth. In our country, we have about 16 million people who are every day related to their textile work. While most countries, all these have gone into museums, something to look at, but not something to use and wear. Now, this is the USP of this country. We need to not look at the Bangladeshis who are exporting, because that's a mechanical process. I would say, let us look at this made in India, which is totally handmade, and it is very specialized, and the world is coming to us for it because it doesn't exist anywhere else. If these children who have the DNA of this craft are left to become, you know, carry loads on their head, or become cycle workers or whatever, it would really be a pity.